One Piece. Chapter 1169 is not just another weekly chapter. This chapter is a turning point. For years, Elbaf was teased as the land of proud warriors, honor, and freedom. But chapter 1169 reveals the truth. Elbaf was slowly being turned into a slave nation. Immortality is not a gift, but the worst curse imaginable. And the world government's control is far deeper than we ever imagined. The chapter opens with a 14-year-old flashback set before the tragedy of Elbaf. We see Shanks and Gaban together at Gaban's home in Elbaf's sun world. This peaceful setting instantly contrasts with the horror we'll later witness. Gaban reveals something shocking. He tells Shanks that Goldie Roger had a son. Gaban explains that he learned this after crossing paths with Monkey D. Garp. Despite being Roger's enemy, Garp protected Roger's child and helped him escape the Navy. The moment Shanks hears this, his reaction is pure joy. He smiles and says, "Roger's blood flows through that child." Shanks goes even further and confidently declares that child will become the pirate king of the new era. This moment is important. Shanks truly believed that Roger's will would live on through Ace, but Gaban immediately challenges this idea. He warns Shanks, a title is not inherited. If people expect greatness too early, the pressure destroys children. Gaban understands something Shanks doesn't want to accept, that destiny can be cruel. Shanks laughs it off, saying this only makes the story more exciting. And with that, the flashback ends. For readers, this scene hits hard, because we already know Ace's tragic fate. The scene shifts abruptly to Ara's castle in Elbaf, and what we see is shocking. King Harald has just killed an ancient giant. The guards are frozen in disbelief. They remind Harald that he himself ordered them to restrain him. Harald looks horrified, not proud. Inside his mind, he questions everything. Why did my body move on its own? Why couldn't I stop? Why couldn't I cancel the order? Harald slowly realizes a terrifying truth. His thoughts are no longer his own. He looks at the tattoo engraved on his body, the mark of a contract, and he understands. This mark will never disappear. This contract has taken away his freedom. Harald begins to fear that his body is no longer human. It's a puppet. Harald realizes that if this continues, Elbaf will be destroyed. All his life's work, 144 years spent rebuilding Elbaf, will be meaningless. In desperation, Harald orders the giants to kill him. The guards are terrified, but the giants obey. They trample him repeatedly, and yet, King Harald does not die. Instead, his body regenerates before their eyes. Harald is stunned. That's when the horrifying realization hits him. Have I become immortal? But immortality brings no joy. Harald does not celebrate. He panics. He screams internally, begging for death. Using the voice of all things, Harald tells everyone to run, but unlike Roger or Garp, the giants cannot hear this voice. His body moves again. Controlled by something else, Harald unleashes a single devastating slash. Every giant around him falls. As he kills them, Harald cries, "How do I die? Please, someone kill me." This is the moment Elbaf truly falls. The story cuts back to Shanks and Gaban. Shanks reveals the truth he's been hiding. He tells Gaban that he and King Harald once held the same rank. Both of them signed a contract in Holy Land. This contract binds them to a supreme being known as the Great One. Shanks shows Gaban the tattoo, identical to Harald's. He explains, when you approach the Great One, refusal becomes impossible. Orders cannot be disobeyed. Your body moves on its own. This is the system behind the God Knights. Shanks then explains the deeper stages of the contract. The final stage turns someone into a complete God Knight. That stage grants immense, inhuman strength, true immortality, the ability to summon a pentagram anywhere in the world, but the cost is absolute obedience. His voice reaches you everywhere. No matter where you are, your body must obey. Shanks admits something crucial. He refused to go to the final stage. He knew what would happen. That is why Shanks abandoned Holy Land. That is why he came to Elbaf, to warn King Harald. But he was too late. Back at Ara's castle, Prince Loki confronts his father. Together with Jarl, Loki restrains Harald. Harald finally regains clarity. He admits, everything I have done is unforgivable. He reveals the truth. The world government never intended to honor their deal. Their plan was to turn Elbaf into a slave nation, a military factory, a supply of warriors. Harald admits his greatest failure. I believed them. He orders Jarl to give Loki Elbaf's greatest treasure, the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf. Harald tells Loki that power can oppose the gods. Then he asks Loki to do the unthinkable. He tells his son to kill him and take the throne. He wants Loki to reveal the truth to Elbaf. Harald does not care how history remembers him. The only thing that matters is Elbaf's future. Before Loki can respond, Harald loses control completely. The Great One, Emu, takes full possession. There is no transformation, just complete domination. Harald slaughters the remaining guards. He orders the gates sealed. He declares, Elbaf will be delivered to Amo. He commands Loki to go to the treasure room and eat the devil fruit. Loki is confused. Why would his father suddenly want this? Why is his personality completely different? Loki doesn't realize this is no longer his father speaking. Jarl attempts to stop Harald one last time. He warns, if you eat that fruit, the world will end. Harald kills Jarl instantly. At that moment, Shanks and Gaban arrive. They attack Harald together, but it doesn't matter. His body regenerates instantly. Harald mocks Shanks. This immortal body, it feels superior. Shanks understands the truth. There is no cure, no way to save Harald. Meanwhile, Loki reaches the treasure room. The devil fruit stands before him. Suddenly, Ragnir begins to move. An unseen force attacks Loki. He barely dodges. A strange laughter echoes. Someone is watching, and the chapter ends. Is Emo actually Emu? Is Ragnir an ancient weapon? Will Loki become Elbaf's greatest king?